Let me tell you a chilling tale. The story begins in the heart of Manila, where the echoes of war still linger. There lies a darkness that refuses to fade, a darkness that whispers of horrors long forgotten, but never truly gone. It was during the chaos of World War II that the city bore witness to unspeakable atrocities. Streets once teeming with life were now stained with blood, and the air was thick with the stench of death. Among the ruins, shadows danced, twisted remnants of souls lost in the turmoil of war. Among the survivors was Miguel, a weary soldier who had seen the depths of human depravity firsthand. Seeking refuge in the labyrinthine alleyways of the city, he soon realized that he was not alone. Haunted by the spirits of the past, he found himself ensnared in a nightmare from which there seemed to be no escape. As night fell, the city transformed into a realm of darkness, where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred. Ghostly apparitions roamed the streets, their mournful cries echoing through the empty buildings. Miguel's every step was met with whispers of anguish, the weight of the past bearing down upon him with suffocating intensity. But it was not only the spirits of the dead that Miguel had to fear. In the shadows lurked creatures born of the war's brutality, twisted manifestations of pain and suffering that hungered for the souls of the living. Their eyes glowed with malevolent intent as they stalked their prey through the night, their unearthly wails sending shivers down Miguel's spine. Driven by fear and desperation, Miguel searched for sanctuary in the darkness, but the city offered no solace, only endless torment. Each corner turned revealed new horrors, each alleyway a trap waiting to ensnare his fragile spirit. And so, Miguel remains trapped in the haunted streets of Manila, a prisoner of a past that refuses to release its grip. To this day, his cries can still be heard, echoing. Haunted by the memories of war, Miguel's nights were plagued by restless sleep and haunted visions. In his dreams, he wandered the desolate streets of Manila, pursued by shadows and tormented by the anguished cries of the fallen. During the day, the once bustling city felt eerily silent, as if it held its breath, waiting for something ominous to unfold. Miguel could sense the presence of unseen entities lurking in the shadows, their malevolent gaze following his every move. Desperate for respite, Miguel sought refuge in an abandoned building, its crumbling walls a stark reminder of the city's tumultuous past. But even within its dilapidated confines, he found no solace. Instead, he was greeted by whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves, urging him to leave, to flee before it was too late. Ignoring the warnings, Miguel pressed on, determined to confront whatever malevolent force held sway over the city. But as night fell and darkness enveloped the streets. As Miguel ventured deeper into the abandoned building, the air grew thick with a palpable sense of dread. The walls seemed to close in around him, suffocating him with their oppressive presence. Every creak of the floorboards echoed like a sinister whisper, taunting him with the knowledge that he was not alone. In the dim light, Miguel's gaze was drawn to the shadows that danced along the walls, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes. Faces of the fallen soldiers appeared in the darkness, their hollow eyes boring into his very soul. Their agonized moans reverberated through the corridors, filling Miguel with a terror unlike anything he had ever known. But it was the whispers that haunted him the most, the disembodied voices that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. They spoke of unspeakable horrors, of atrocities committed in the name of war. They urged Miguel to flee, to escape the clutches of the malevolent force that held sway over the building. Try as he might, Miguel found himself unable to leave. It was as if some unseen force bound him to the cursed place, trapping him in a nightmare from which there was no awakening. As darkness enveloped him, Miguel realized with a sinking dread that he was not alone. Shadowy figures lurked in the corners, their malevolent presence looming like a spectre over his shattered sanity. And in that moment, Miguel knew that he was doomed to wander the haunted alleys of Manila for all eternity, a prisoner of the city's dark and tormented past. In the dim light, Miguel's gaze was drawn to the shadows that danced along the walls, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes. Faces of the fallen soldiers appeared in the darkness, their hollow eyes boring into his very soul. Their agonized moans reverberated through the corridors, filling Miguel with a terror unlike anything he had ever known. But it was the whispers that haunted him the most, the disembodied voices that seemed to emanate from. The echoes of war reverberated through the abandoned corridors, mingling with Miguel's anguished cries. Each step he took seemed to lead him further into the depths of despair, his mind consumed by the relentless onslaught of ghostly apparitions. In the flickering light of a broken window, Miguel caught glimpses of twisted, contorted figures, their faces frozen in eternal agony. They reached out to him with spectral hands, their touch like ice against his skin, sending shivers coursing through his veins. As Miguel pressed on, his footsteps echoing like a dirge in the empty halls, he could feel the weight of the city's history bearing down upon him. The walls seemed to close in around him, suffocating him with their suffocating embrace, as if the very building itself sought to claim him as its own. But amidst the darkness and despair, Miguel glimpsed a glimmer of hope, a faint ray of light that beckoned to him from the depths of the abyss. With renewed determination, he pushed forward. In the chilling depths of Manila's haunted streets, Miguel's descent into madness reached its crescendo. Surrounded by the anguished wails of the fallen and the sinister whispers of the damned, he realized with a sinking dread that there was no escape from the darkness that consumed him. As he ventured deeper into the abyss, Miguel's mind became a battlefield, torn between the horrors of the past and the relentless onslaught of the present. Each step he took seemed to lead him further into the clutches of the malevolent force that held sway over the city. And then, in a moment of horrifying clarity, Miguel understood the truth. He was not meant to find solace in this cursed place. He was but another pawn in the game of the damned, destined to be consumed by the darkness that lurked within. With a final, blood-curdling scream, Miguel succumbed to the madness that had claimed him. His soul forever bound to the haunted alleys of Manila. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe.